Hey, Spin Snakeo here with another figure review. This one I am incredibly excited for. I use that somewhat, maybe a bit too emphasized. This figure is a phenomenal figure. Before I go into it though, I will just say I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan or the Star Trek fan. I have enjoyed the movies. That's pretty much about the extent of what my like goes. I have always wanted a 6-inch Jedi, and now that they've come out with a 6-inch Black Series, I was like, oh, maybe. Then I was offered a trade for my NECA Resident Evil Chris Redfield, which is my video a couple of days ago. And I said to you guys that he was going off to someone to trade for this guy. I can't thank my friend Ronnie enough. I'm over the moon. I was a bit like unsure as I'm not such a big Star Wars fan, but this is a phenomenal figure and absolutely blown away by it. Hasbro have really learned a lot, and they've definitely implemented what they've learned over the last couple of years into this. So without further ado, this one, let's get on with this one. So like I said, it's from the new Star Wars Black Series, and it says here it's number 2 Darth Maul, Hasbro. You see it's got a windowed front with some like Star Wars kind of design at the back there. You see he's got his binoculars, him in the hood, extra head, and 2 lightsabers. Side view, window again, and the back there's plenty of there. I'll leave that in focus, you had to read that. Nice kind of like picture of the actual movie kind of shaded out. It's pretty cool, that. Nothing on the side, just says on the back and on the bottom. So that's packaging. I quite like that picture. I think that looks quite nice. They're nice, they're quite simple, and I actually quite like that. So let's get this bad boy open. And we're back. We've got him out of the box now, and as you can see, this guy is awesome. He's sporting his kind of cloak look here. I don't know if you saw from the packaging, he does have a secondary head. What they've actually done with this cloak is something quite interesting, is they've actually attached it to the head mold. So the way to take it off is actually dislocate, is to detach the head itself. But we'll go into that in a bit. He can hold both his lightsabers very well, and they fit into his hand quite snug, and I'm very happy about that. This one has this little kind of like notch here, and I'm not too sure what that's for, but I'll go over that in a minute. So put his lightsabers to one side, let's go over the detail of the actual figure. Now, like I said, he's wearing his cloak, and it's very cool. It's very, very droopy. It hangs down really low, and it's this lovely, really, really soft rubber. So it's not going to hinder any articulation whatsoever. Maybe, okay, saying that, maybe a bit in the arms because it's kind of, the gap's there, but it's a bit low. But it looks absolutely awesome, and I don't think you're going to be in any fighting poses if you had this on. Now, you can feel at the top of the head that there are kind of like spikes there. I don't know if they're just kind of part of the rubber. I'm not going to peel it off to have a look. But to remove it, just very simply, unpeg the head. And then just feed the arms through. And then that's it. You can see there's a big gap there and there for the arms. It's just a droopy cloak. It's not meant to be anything. Now, what I did notice is when I attached his other head, is because of the spikes, it's very painful, so you have to be very careful. He does have like a part just there with no spikes, and that's probably the best point to put pressure on, because I first did like that and I was like, ow, that hurt. So now we have him out of his cloak, and this guy is just awesome. Absolutely spectacular. Like I said, I'm not a massive Star Wars fan, and I know a lot of people did criticise about episode 1. No, I enjoyed the film. I thought it was okay. But I don't care. You can criticise all you want. You can't really criticise Darth Maul. He was an awesome baddie. He was an awesome character. So much so as I believe he got, I don't want to like do spoilers in this, and I don't know for a fact. I've only seen from like adverts and things. I believe he was brought back into the animated series. I could be mistaken in that, I don't know. But this figure is awesome. Do I have any gripes about it? Probably the only real gripe I have about it is mainly These, I'm not the biggest fan of these design of joints. We'll go over them in a sec. And I think his feet might be a tad small. They look in proportion with him, but it does seem to make him balancing a little bit difficult. Not majorly, just a little bit. But that's just me nitpicking. Let's go over the head sculpt. The head sculpt, as you can see, is very, very well painted. And it looks absolutely menacing, so the movie says. And I'm loving this. I would honestly probably say the paintwork around the horns might be a little bit sloppy, but I don't think I could do any better, in all honesty, so I'm okay with it. The eyes look really menacing. The whole blackness looks it just looks awesome. Also, incidentally, the actor who played this is Ray Park, who's one of my favourite actors and martial artists. He also played Toad in the X-Men movie, and he has done various things. I think he played Chuck Norris in a Bruce Lee series, if I remember rightly. I could be wrong with that, but I am a fan of him, and he is a great actor, and he was even in Heroes. I can't remember his character's name in Heroes. But moving on to this guy. The sculpt in his, I don't even know what he's called, his clothing, is also absolutely phenomenal. Everything is just sculpted so well. Now this is a hard plastic and this is a nice soft rubber, so it won't hinder the articulation. He also has some cloth parts here, so again it won't hinder the articulation. Same as the back, he's got a bit of cloth, even a bit there, a bit of cloth on the side, and then he has this rubber bit at the back there. So absolutely awesome. Speaking of articulation, let's go over that now. His head, as you saw, was on a ball, so you can get a bit of a rock in it from forward and back. Not really much to the side, maybe a tiny little bit, but it's very stiff and it's very ratchety. It looks down that far and up that far. Shoulders are on disc joints, they can go up that far, full 360 degree around, and they are also ratchety, which is nice. No bicep cut, that is my downfall. I do prefer the bicep cut. And as the shape of his sleeve, I feel it will hinder his articulation. He does rotate at the elbow, full 360 degree, not ratchety, but the bend in the elbow is ratchety. So straight up is like that, which is about 90 degrees. But then if I go like that, see, it's not quite 90 degrees. So if you want to bring the hand forward, you can see, you can work with it for posing, it's fine. It looks like there's a glove cut there, but there isn't. But there is a twist at the wrist, full 360 degrees. And then he does have a pivot, but it goes at this angle on this hand. So when you have his lightsaber, you can have him pointing his lightsaber. Now, this has been referred to, I've noticed, as the Star Wars joint, or the Black Series joint. There seems to be a lot of that. I've noticed it's on one of the Luke Skywalkers as well. And it's very effective. It does look pretty cool. He only has it on his right wrist. On his left wrist, he has the standard, that angle. But it's also very effective and you can get quite a range out of it. So I'm not quite sure why they've done it differently. He's got a hidden diaphragm joint. It's just here. I didn't actually think he had one at first, but it goes back quite far, not massively, but it goes forward really far. So that's pretty cool. And then you can get some rock side to side and some turn from there to there. So quite great range there. And one of the things I'm happiest about, T-cut hips. Yes, awesome. And what awesome hips. Look at that. That's his Spartan. That's pretty impressive. That's his split. That's not. And as luck would have it, my battery just died, so I've had to put it on charge. So this is the following day. Continuing with the review, that's his splits. That's as far as that goes. So not as much as would be like, but still it's not terrible. You know, it's a good 90 degrees there, so that's pretty cool. Now he's got an upper thigh cut, so he can rotate full 360 degree there, which is really nice. He's got a double in the knee, and it's really, really, really hard. But that's the bend there. Sorry, just getting back in focus. That's as far as it goes, if I move that out of the way. And it's a good bend, and it doesn't look ugly. And because he's got his padded or his thick trousers, they look they can look awkward when they put bends into them. But no, that looks very natural. It's very good. And I could envision someone using this as a custom for maybe a Goku. Anyway, moving on. There's no boot cut. And he's then just got an ankle point from there to there with the ankle pivot. So, yeah, all in all, absolutely great articulation. My only, like I said, gripe is these elbows. They're not my favourite joint, but they work okay with this figure. And the only kind of other real, if I had to be gripey, is his feet, I think, are a bit small and they can make standing him a bit awkward. So, moving on to his accessories. He comes with his binocular things, which you see him use in the first movie, or in episode 1, I should say. And they've got some great paint apps on them. Lots of little details in them, and they're very well sculpted. I think he holds them, looks in that part. Well, yeah, that makes sense because there's only one lens there, and it's all blurry. There you go. But it's got nice little gloss paint on the black parts. I think it's silver plastic, metallic plastic, with some like dirt slightly painted in there. You can see a bit of dirt on there, and then some buttons here, there, everywhere. Really, really nice. They didn't need to include these, and it's nice that they did. And then of course he's got his lightsabers. Now they're similar and they're almost identical if you see like that, but this one has an extra peg to go in there, which I'll show you in a sec. And this one has this, and this is what I was saying earlier. I don't know what this is for. I thought it might be to peg into a hand, but I can't, you know, I can't see. It's hard to see on black, but I can't see a hole in that hand, and I can't see a hole in that hand, so I don't think it's for that. Oh wait, that's what it's for. I'm such an idiot. I thought that when I first saw it, but then I thought, why did he put it on one? He's only got one hole. That's weird. He's only got the one hole. Yeah, he has two lightsabers. So I guess you can have him one away and one active. Come on, stand. But yeah, the sculpting is really, really nice. Now, I wasn't too sure about the lightsaber part, and I was like, it's loose. If you can see, there's a bit like plastic on the actual blade there. It's like, you know, if you watch turn the handle, it's loose. And I was like, it's loose. Does it come off? And I gave it a tug, and I was like, oh, that's really quite, I don't want to snap it. But I thought, you know what, sod it. And I said, "Argh!" And it does come off. And it's really, really well in there. And it's not bad at all. So you can display him quite nicely like that now, which is very cool. And then you can have the other one in hand. I'm really, I can't believe I didn't notice that hole. I feel so stupid. But when you've got the, they go back in just like that, and they're really, really secure. So they're really good. And then they, if you look at the shape of the peg, it's got a flat edge, and of course you can see there's like a flat edge there. So not exactly rocket science here, but you go, and that's also really, really snug. Now I'm a bit worried. This isn't the strongest of plastics. It's got a bit of bend in it. Now that can work in your favour, but at the same time, I'm a bit worried about it warping. But it's massive when it's connected. And it looks awesome when you can pose him some great poses with like this. The only other gripe I've been thinking about this figure is his hands are a very softer plastic. I'd probably say maybe a hard rubber, but they've got quite a lot of pliability in them, and it makes getting him to hold his weapons tight a bit awkward. He wants to hold them, the grip wants to loosen the more you put things in and out, and this being a Jedi, you're going to be taking weapons in and out of him all the time, well, especially if you're a kid, you know. That's probably my only other real gripe about him. Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. So the only gripes I've really got is these elbows, not fan of them joints. The feet I think might be a tiny bit too small, and the hands I think are a bit of a too softer plastic where they're gonna warp and they're gonna lose their gripness very quickly. I'm assuming he can hold this. I've not actually tried yet. Yeah, he can hold that fine. Again, it's kind of stretching the fingers out though. It's a bit too big for his hand. So I probably won't ever have him holding this. I'd probably just get him holding his lightsabers, doing some kind of stance like this. That looks pretty awesome if you ask me. I'm very happy with that. As I said in my when I started this videos, I'm not a massive Star Wars fan. I do like them and I do enjoy the movies. I don't have any Star Wars figures. I have had some over the years. This is pretty much my first adult collector figure and Star Wars line, I guess. Yeah, I can't think of anything else. Am I going to continue with the series? Watch the space, we'll wait and see. I am very impressed with this figure and I can't recommend him enough. If you're a fan of the series whatsoever, or you just want a Jedi, pick up one of these. They're very good. They are very, very good figures. Hasbro has really learnt a lot over the last couple of years and they are implementing it in all of their figures today. So well done, Hasbro. My hat goes off to you. I forgot to add that with this figure, I got him second hand off of, like I said, I did a trade from my buddy Ronnie. And he came with a third head. So I'm going to show you that quickly. Most of you are going to be going, what? A third head? Yes, you've seen the hooded head. You've seen the unhooded head with all the spiky bits. Now you will see the badassest head ever. Stan Lee, baby. Yeah, not quite sure why, but for some reason I got given a Stan Lee head to go with this. And I'm just trying to... It comes with glasses, but they're very, 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 very difficult to go on. But for those of you who wanted to see what Stan Lee looked like as a Jedi, there you go. Even though he does look a bit drunk with his glasses, a bit rockety. There you go, it's a bit bad. I don't know why. He just sent it along with... I think it's funny as hell. And I thought I'd share it with you guys. It fits on there quite nicely. It's not a very snug fit, and it probably... See, it's not really on there that well at all. But for posing it'd be fine, just resting on there. And it does look funny. You've got to admit, that does look pretty funny. And zoom. Not focus. So, yeah. Let's put the lightsaber back in. Give him the one. So there we go, guys. Stan Lee Jedi. For those of you who wanted to know, now you finally do. Yeah, just tell me that doesn't look funny. Alright, thanks a lot, guys. Anyway, guys, I think I've been rambling along enough about this guy. Thanks a lot for watching. I hope you liked this video. Please stay tuned for maybe some more Star Wars figures. We shall see. I'm kind of venturing more to a different direction, which I will show shortly in my next video. But yeah, as per usual, leave any comments in the links below. Thanks